What up? It is Sam here, and today I wanted to talk about the top 3 reasons why Andrew Yang, Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, anybody should be using TikTok. But I know a lot of you guys support Andrew Yang, so this is why specifically Andrew Yang should be using TikTok. The top 3 reasons. First of all, we have attention. Second of all, we have no competition. Third, Gen Z. And we're going to talk about all that in a second. So, with that being said, what's good? If this is your first time here, and for those of you who are returning, 2 things. First of all, you had better pressing that subscribe button. Second of all, it is good to freaking see you. I mean, it's your second time back here. You should subscribe, right? Helps out the channel. Okay, so TikTok, I'm not going to explain what it is. You can fucking Google that yourself. But what we are going to do is take a look at a live example at the end. But we're going to start with our attention, right? The amount of attention on TikTok is ridiculous. There's, I don't know, somewhere north of 750 million people on TikTok. And if you want to get your message out to more people, and this is on a monthly basis, right? And you're like, Sam, the U.S. is only 350 million people. Correct. So what percentage do you think how saturated do you think this is in the U.S., right? If there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, or 8 billion people on the planet, and nearly 1 billion of them are on this one app, right? Do you think it's kind of slightly, maybe a little bit fucking relevant? So that'll be enough about the attention on there. We're going to touch more on the attention at the end there, but there's just like so much attention on there across like the board, the spectrum. And in 2020 and going forward, attention is the currency. If you can figure out how to get attention, you can do whatever you want. Whether it's you want to get elected, whether you want to make money, whether it's you want to meet people, you need to be able to get attention, right? If you want to sell a product, you want to sell a pen, you need to get attention to be able to sell that pen. Right? You can come up with a fabulous idea with this new cap and the ink that lasts forever and doesn't stick and whatever. You gotta sell it. You need to be able to get in front of people, wherever it is, okay? And that requires getting attention. So if you are thinking about getting attention and you've got these, 7 to 10 places where people spend the vast majority of your time here, right? This is where like 5 hours, 7 hours of everybody's day is going on here. And if everybody's time is on here, there's about 10 places or so where 80% of that is. And one of them is TikTok, and yet other politicians are completely oblivious to it. Here in the US, because they think there's like China stealing data. What the frickin' do? If you need to get your message out, get your fucking message out. Like, to ignore the gargantuan size and impact of what's happening and not be talking in that sphere is naive, to say the least. Doesn't matter what they're doing. You gotta understand what's happening, how to communicate in 2020. It's hilarious. And in the US, part of the people who are learning how to communicate are Gen Z, because they've adopted it very, very high in terms of the saturation level in the population. And why does it matter for Generation Z? The 2 primary things. First of all, Gen Z is like 90 million people. Millennials and boomers, who are the next 2 biggest generations, are around 70 million each. So you have this proportion of the population that's larger than any other proportion of the population, has a much higher saturation or utilization rate of TikTok, and there's no competition. I don't think I really need to say much more, but we're going to get into an example. So I have a TikTok. You can check the link in the description, and we're going to go over a live example of one that's actually one of mine that's like going viral right now. So we're going to open up the app. Let's close it first. We're going to close the app. Hopefully you can see this. We're going to open it up so it's refreshed. We're going to go to my profile. My profile is linked in the description. Over 2.2 million views over the last 28 days. If you're trying to do something like TikTok, I'm increasing the amount of production I'm putting on there because I've never seen anything like this before in my life, ever. And I quit my job and I'm doing online stuff full time. So I spend a decent amount of time doing this stuff, and I've never seen anything like this. If you want to support the channel, there's links in the description, by the way. But I've never seen anything like this. So, again, let's just close this one more time. right? We're going to get in here. We're going to go over to my profile. We're going to come down here to this post right here. I'll actually show you here on the screen, which is this post right here. So it's just a video of me using autopilot in the Tesla, and just kind of narrating what's happening, what I'm like feeling, what I'm seeing as autopilot's going along. And on here, you can't see the analytics because there's no way to log in from a desktop that I know of. But on my phone, I can see the analytics, and I'll try to I'll try to show you right there. It's 22,200 views, and it was published just over 5 hours ago. So over 4,000 views per hour on that video. And I'm not running for office. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to make a living online and understand what's happening, and that's happening. Like the lock screen on my phone. No, the amount of attention on here is gargantuan. The ability to be able to get that much attention, it's already at 22.4 now, and it was at 22.2 literally a second ago. That's how quickly it's growing over there. So to think that like this amount of attention is not going to be relevant, right? We know that there's 750 plus million people on this in the world. Has a very, very high saturation rate with Gen Z, who forgot to touch on the second point, which was is the most impressionable generation, because if you're not in Gen Z, you've probably already fucking made up your mind, right? You're kind of set in your ways. A lot of people in psychological research or sociology or whatever it is, it's called the status quo, right? And it's a bias that people tend to have. Even though something might be better over here, people just tend to stay with the status quo. So having Gen Z, the biggest generation out of all the generations, on this one spot that they're paying attention to, and not paying attention, and then the other candidates who are running for president are not paying attention to it, there's an opportunity there that is like unlike anything that's ever happened before in history. To be able to get your message to that audience and to just completely ignore it, it's almost like do these candidates want to win? I don't know. We'll see how it plays out and who decides to jump on board. I'm actually going to increase the amount of production I'm doing on here. I'm getting like 100,000 views per day. I want to be able to get 10 million over the course of a month, and then to 1 million per day. So I'm actually increasing the amount of production. The ability to be creative on here is extremely easy relative to YouTube, which requires work, Instagram, which requires work, right? Because people have this perception that Instagram needs to be perfect, right? The photos and videos that are published. So there's that perception, which means the creativity drops because people don't want to put in the work to try to make their photos awesome or whatever it is that they tell themselves. But on TikTok, that is not there. And the level of creativity on TikTok is through the roof compared to the other platforms, because people are not afraid of getting judged as much as they are on other platforms. It's still happening in the comment section, but the perception isn't there, which allows creativity to flow more easily. So it's a very, very interesting platform. You guys should check it out. Links in the description. And thank you for watching. Peace.